One of the top 5 passers played his home games at Giants Stadium, while another played 22 miles away at Shea Stadium. Yet another played his home games in front of a crazy mascot, Crazy George. Is he the first human NFL team mascot? Let me know what you think in the comments. One quarterback played 4 home games at Green Bay and the other 4 home games at Milwaukee. And the number 1 most obscure quarterback who threw for 2,000 yards in the 1970s played at Buffalo's War Memorial Stadium. All footage is taken from the year in which the quarterback threw for 2,000 yards. Number 5 on the list is Jersey Joe Pisarcik, who had prototypical quarterback size at 6'4", 220 pounds. He attended New Mexico State and played from 1974 through 1976 for the Canadian Football League's Calgary Stampeders, for whom he threw 23 touchdowns and 29 interceptions in 43 games. In May 1977, he signed a free agent contract with the Giants. In 1978, he started 12 games, threw 12 touchdown passes with 23 interceptions, which was the 3rd most in the NFL. He only completed 47.5% of his passes, but he did crack the 2,000-yard plateau in only his 2nd NFL season, despite having a dismal 52.1 quarterback rating. On November 19, 1978, there was a play for the ages. The Giants had a 5-point lead and were milking the clock in the final seconds of the game. Offensive coordinator Bob Gibson called for a handoff to Larry Zonka instead of having Pisarcik lay on the ball. The resulting attempted handoff was a disaster. It bounced off Zonka's hip, bounced off the turf, then it was scooped up and ran 26 yards for a touchdown on the last play of the game by Herman Edwards. Gibson was fired the next day, and head coach John McVay was canned 1 month later. Number 4 on this list is Matt Robinson, a 9th-round 1977 draft pick from Georgia. He started 11 games in 1978 and led the Jets to 6 wins. He just passed for 2,000 yards while throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. Robinson was able to play because starting quarterback Richard Todd broke his left clavicle in Week 4 on the first play of the fourth quarter against Washington. Robinson threw the deep ball extremely well, as his 16.1 yards per completion led the NFL. His 46.6% completion percentage, however, ranked 26th, one notch below Pisarcik. Jets fans welcomed Richard Todd back in Week 12. A quarterback draw play can be harmful to one's health, and it was for Todd because he broke the same bone as before on the final play of the third quarter with the score tied 10-10. Back in the 1970s, throwing for 2,000 yards wasn't easy, especially prior to 1978 when they expanded the schedule by 2 games. In this list are 1 rookie, 3 second-year quarterbacks, and 1 veteran who is mainly a backup, so none of them were likely candidates to throw for 2,000 yards. Let's get back to the action. Number 3 on the list is Chiefs quarterback Mike Livingston, who was a big quarterback in 1968 at 6'4", 212 pounds, when he was drafted in the second round out of SMU, where he broke most of Don Meredith's passing records. A backup to future Hall of Famer Len Dawson, somehow Livingston made the 1969 Pro Bowl team on the basis of only throwing 4 touchdown passes with 6 interceptions in 6 games started. The Chiefs won all 6 games, but still. Livingston started all 14 games in 1976 when he passed for 2,682 yards, which was 6th best in the NFL. Prior to 1976, he only passed for more than 1,000 yards in 2 of his 8 seasons, topping out at 1,245 in 1975. His 55.9 completion percentage was 10th best in the league, but he only threw 12 touchdowns while being intercepted 13 times. Here's number 2. It's none other than David Whitehurst, who passed for 2,093 yards in 1978. He was born in Baumholder, Germany, but went to high school in Georgia. A 1977 eighth-round draft choice from Furman University, he was their second quarterback selected by the pros. The first was Sam Wyche, who later became well known as an NFL head coach for the Bengals and Buccaneers. The Packers' starting quarterback for the first 9 weeks of 1977 was Lynn Dickey. Losing at home to the Rams 24-6 in Week 9, Dickey was booed most of the afternoon. But things got worse when defensive tackle Larry Brooks hit Dickey on the game's final play and broke his leg. Not only was he out for the rest of the 1977 season, but also for all of the 1978 season. Fortunately for Whitehurst, he had a future Hall of Fame wide receiver to throw to in James Lofton, who made the Pro Bowl as a rookie. All right, who's number one? It's Dennis Shaw. In 1969 at San Diego State, he led the NCAA in total offense and passed for a then single-season record 39 touchdowns and 29 interceptions in the Aztecs' 10-game season. He passed for 3,185 yards and was drafted in the 1970 second round by the Bills. He won the Rookie of the Year award, the first quarterback to win it. Ben Roethlisberger was the second quarterback to win it 34 years later. Bills head coach John Roush kept 13 rookies on his 1970 roster, and Shaw took a lot of beatings due to the lack of experience, like in Week 2 against the Rams.